Star Trek's Doctor Who crossover is one of its best, and I stand by that. Crossovers in sci-fi are tricky. There's always the risk of feeling gimmicky, of watching two worlds collide awkwardly, with characters behaving like cardboard cutouts of themselves. Yet, when done right, a crossover can become something legendary, a rare moment where two universes expand each other in ways neither could achieve alone. That's exactly why Star Trek's crossover with Doctor Who stands out as one of the best. And yes, I absolutely stand by that statement. At first glance, the pairing seems unlikely. Star Trek prides itself on its optimistic vision of the future, where diplomacy, science, and ethics are the bedrock of society. Doctor Who, on the other hand, thrives on chaos, paradox, and the weird, often morally ambiguous decisions of a time-traveling alien with a fondness for sonic devices. Yet this very contrast is what makes the crossover so compelling. It's like watching a carefully choreographed dance between order and unpredictability, logic and whimsy. The episode itself is a masterpiece of balance. It begins with the familiar Starfleet structure. A crisis emerges that requires the crew to analyze and respond using their scientific and diplomatic toolkit. Enter the Doctor, materializing in the midst of the chaos with a sonic screwdriver in hand and a grin that says, "I may or may not be the key to fixing all this." The initial clash of personalities is predictable yet delightful. Captain Picard, or whichever Star Trek captain is in play, tries to assert authority, only to have the Doctor sidestep protocol with an unorthodox solution. It's a subtle commentary on the rigidity of Starfleet versus the improvisational genius of the Time Lord. What elevates the crossover beyond a simple gimmick is the writing. The episode doesn't treat either universe as superior. Instead, it highlights what makes both iconic. The Doctor is not a deus ex machina. Starfleet officers are not bureaucratic drones. Each character's strengths are amplified when paired with the other. When the Doctor questions the nature of a seemingly unsolvable problem, a Starfleet scientist offers a methodical approach that neither could have conceived alone. Conversely, the Doctor's radical thinking forces the crew to confront moral and existential dilemmas in ways that go beyond the usual Star Trek ethical quandaries. The crossover also rewards longtime fans of both franchises. References are sprinkled throughout, not enough to alienate casual viewers, but enough to spark delight in the devoted. A passing mention of a TARDIS-like anomaly, a subtle nod to Gallifreyan technology influencing a futuristic Starfleet design, or the Doctor's witty acknowledgement of Vulcan logic. These little touches create layers of intertextual richness. They make the episode feel like a genuine celebration of science fiction, rather than a contrived marketing event. One of the most powerful moments comes when the episode tackles the philosophical heart of both series, the consequences of time and choice. Star Trek often explores how actions ripple across cultures and civilizations. Doctor Who interrogates the butterfly effect on an almost cosmic scale. When these two perspectives converge, the result is a narrative tension that feels both epic and intimate. Watching characters wrestle with the morality of altering events, sometimes for the greater good, sometimes for survival, is riveting, and it resonates far more deeply than a simple aliens meet aliens story. The visual and technical execution is also worth noting. Special effects are used thoughtfully, not extravagantly. The TARDIS doesn't just materialize for spectacle, it interacts with Starfleet technology in clever ways, forcing characters to adapt. Light and sound are leveraged to highlight the surreal, almost dreamlike intersection of these two universes. The episode feels cinematic without sacrificing the storytelling depth both franchises are known for. But perhaps the true genius lies in the tone. There's a playful energy, a sense that anything could happen, but it never undercuts the stakes. Star Trek is not diminished by Doctor Who's whimsy. Doctor Who is not constrained by Starfleet structure. Instead, the episode creates a narrative alchemy that rewards both sets of fans while crafting a story that stands on its own. Critics often dismiss crossovers as fan service, and yes, there are weaker examples where the combination feels hollow, but this Star Trek Doctor Who episode is the exception. It's a rare case where the crossover not only works, it elevates both universes. It challenges characters, thrills audiences, and sparks imagination in ways that a standard episode of either show might not. It reminds us why we fell in love with these worlds in the first place, for the wonder, the moral complexity, and the sense that the universe is bigger, stranger, and more exciting than we can ever imagine. In the end, this crossover isn't just a what-if scenario realized on screen. It's a story that honors the core ethos of both franchises. It's daring yet thoughtful, chaotic yet structured, clever yet profound. If you love sci-fi, it's an episode that will that reason. I stand by it. Star Trek's Doctor Who crossover is not just